Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn about the corpus callosum. You can see in this figure, this is the corpus callosum, that is the commissural fibers that connects the two cerebral hemispheres. Corpus callosum is the largest commissure of the brain. It connects the two cerebral hemispheres, and since it is the neopallial commissure, it attains the enormous size in man. Parts of the brain connected by it. The corpus callosum connects all the parts of the cerebral cortex of the two sides except the lower and the anterior parts of the temporal lobes, which are connected by the anterior commissure. Next is the parts of the corpus callosum. Here you can see the different parts of the corpus callosum are shown. Now basically four parts are there, right? The first you can see here, this is the genu, right? This anterior end that you can see is the genu. Then this is the rostrum, trunk and splenium. Okay, one by one we'll take. First genu, it is the anterior end. It lies 4 cm behind the frontal pole, and it is related anteriorly to the anterior cerebral arteries and posteriorly to the anterior horn of the lateral ventricle. Second is the rostrum. Rostrum, it is directed downwards and backwards from the genu, and it ends by joining the lamina terminalis. Right? This is the lamina terminalis in front of the anterior commissure. Right? Ends by joining the lamina terminalis in front of the anterior commissure. That is easily seen in this diagram. It is related superiorly to the anterior horn of the lateral ventricle and inferiorly to the indusium griseum and the longitudinal stria. Right? Superiorly it is related to the anterior horn of the lateral ventricle. Right? And inferiorly to the indusium griseum and longitudinal stria. Now what is this indusium griseum? It is a part of grey matter. Again, we'll see one diagram for that. Here you can find. Now, indusium griseum, it is a thin membranous layer of the grey matter in contact with the upper surface of the corpus callosum, right? Upper surface of the corpus callosum and continuous laterally with the grey matter of the cingulate cortex. Okay, so still to be more clear, you can see this diagram, right? In this, you can see this yellow colored, right? Covering the corpus callosum, right? And above is the cingulate gyrus, right? So this is indusium griseum. And the longitudinal stria you can easily see in this diagram, right? You can see lateral and medial longitudinal stria are shown, right? Here is the lateral one and this is the medial and lateral. This stria are the two bundles of the fibers that are embedded in the indusium griseum only and running along the corpus callosum. Okay, so inferiorly it is related to these structures. Rostrum is related to these structures. Okay. Coming back to the different parts. Here also you can see the different parts. Next is the trunk, right? Trunk is the middle part, this area that you see, middle part between the genu and the splenium. Its superior surface is convex from before backwards and concave from side to side. It is related to the anterior cerebral arteries and to the lower border of the falx cerebri, right? Falx cerebri will be just above it. It is overlapped by the gyrus cinguli, right? This is the cingulate gyrus that we have seen. It is overlapped by the cinguli gyrus and is covered by the indusium griseum and the longitudinal stria, right? That we have already seen in this diagram. Again we will see. Here you can see cingulate gyrus is present and indusium griseum is also present. Next is The inferior surface is concave from before backwards and convex from side to side. It provides attachment to the septum pellucidum and the fornix and forms the roof of the central part of the lateral ventricle. Okay, now inferior surface of this trunk, here in this diagram you can see just below the corpus callosum. This is the trunk of the corpus callosum. Its inferior surface, you can see septum pellucidum and fornix, right? So it provides attachment to these two structures, and it also forms the roof of the central part of the lateral ventricle. Last part is the splenium. It is the posterior end forming the thickest part of the corpus callosum. It lies 6 centimeters in front of the occipital pole. Its inferior surface is related to tela choroidea of the third ventricle. For this, we will see this diagram. Okay. Now here you can see this is the splenium. Okay. Now just below the splenium, you can see this is the tela choroidea, right? Then you can also see the pineal gland is shown here. Okay. So inferior surface is related to tela choroidea of the third ventricle. Then this is the thalamus, and the posterior part of the thalamus is called as the pulvinar. So pulvinar will come in the relation again. Pulvinar pineal body and the tectum of the midbrain. The superior surface is related to the inferior sagittal sinus will come here. Okay, and the falx cerebri. Posteriorly, it is related to the greater cerebral vein and straight sinus and the free margin of the tentorium cerebelli. Okay, so these are the relations of the splenium. So this is about the different parts of the corpus callosum. Next is the fibers of the corpus callosum. Now fibers you can see in this diagram very nicely. Also we have one more, we will see that too. Okay. Now first, the fibers of the corpus callosum. First is the rostrum. It connects the orbital surfaces of the two frontal lobes, right? Rostrum, we have seen the part rostrum. It connects the orbital surfaces of the two frontal lobes. Next is the forceps minor. This you can see forceps minor. It is made up of the fibers of the genu that connects the two frontal lobes. And forceps major is made up of the fibers of the splenium. Right, here you can see the splenium, right, and this connects the two occipital lobes. Okay, for better understanding, you can see here the fibers are shown. You can see here forceps minor fibers and forceps major fibers. These are the fibers of the genu connecting the frontal lobes. These are the fibers of the splenium, and they are connecting the occipital lobes. The last is the tapetum fibers, right? Tapetum we have just seen in the previous video. Again we will see the tapetum. As I told you, it is the fibers of the corpus callosum only. Here you can see the tapetum fibers are shown. Right? It is formed by some fibers from the trunk and the splenium of the corpus callosum. The tapetum forms the roof and the lateral wall of the posterior horn and the lateral wall of the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. Okay. So these are the fibers of the corpus callosum: rostrum, forceps major and minor, and the tapetum. Functional significance of the corpus callosum is that it helps in coordinating the activities of the two hemispheres. Right. It is a connection between the two hemispheres and thereby helps in coordinating the activities between the two cerebral hemispheres. Okay, that's all about corpus callosum. Bye.